Ready. I'm pretty off the cuff and, so
Off the cuff, I love it. Welcome to Stars, Cards, and Sass. My name's Astro Queen. This is the Star Lady. And we're super excited to be
Lady and the
talking about
Queen, the Lady and the Queen.
right. We're super excited to be talking about this eclipse and all this wonderful stuff that's happening. So, let's talk about your journey on TikTok over these last 2 weeks since this eclipse in Leo, right? Because you've been
Yeah,
on it, ma'am.
I have been. I have been for sure.
Um,
Um,
oh, you go ahead.
no, what do you think about, because I've been on it about a lot of things. That the last eclipse was right on my moon and my first, like exactly conjunct, no spaces in between.
It was on top of
So
my
I felt
Venus
like
in the
a lot of
12th.
it was like reclaiming myself and my own like spiritual authority. But yeah, it's been a long journey. So what can we talk about with that stuff?
Well, for me, it was right on top of my Venus in the 12th. So for me, it was like looking at my relationships, especially with other people and my following, and just like kind of seeing what they were watching and all that shit with Alex Reed's tarot and charm and Ruby and all that shit I've seen, like kind of touching on your page. And then more people are going down the Christian pipeline from new spirituality and all that shit. And we could talk about that for fucking hours, right?
Yeah.
But my biggest thing on it's seeing the genuineness of myself and my relationship, and I'm literally watching that be reflected on my screen of how
Yeah.
people are just like they put on this mask and now the mask is coming off, and I'm just like, where the fuck? How did Jesus get in this conversation?
Where
That
did he
came out
come
of
from?
nowhere.
Who invited him to this party? What happened? This was a girls' party, at least for a bit. It felt like it. Who invited him?
Right? And it's just so fucking crazy to me how many people. I mean, yeah, at first I was like that too, because I was like, yo, the girl just went back to church. But then there was this whole propaganda thing, and then there was
Yeah.
racism and misogyny and all this other shit. And I was just like, Jesus, who
Yeah,
invited you?
it got so bad. You must be really spiritually powerful because my kitten's broken. And whenever I'm like talking to someone like really amazing, that's when they are like coming in and trying to infiltrate the meeting. So just FYI, I'm dealing with kittens that want to see you.
Oh, I love kitties. So yeah, no, I appreciate their input. So hi for everybody watching, because we just dive in because that's the type of friends we are. My name's Astro Queen. I'm the queen of keeping astrology simple, anti-fear astrology, and empowering you through your natal chart. And this is Star Lady. She's the lady that's gonna tell you the truth about the stars, and she don't give a fuck how you feel about it. And she's gonna make you look at your world and question everything in between, inside and out, all the way around. She's gonna make you chew on your thoughts, and I absolutely fucking love it. That's why I had her up here. I've been chasing her down forever. I was like, I want to do a podcast and I want you on it right now. Um,
And as soon as I found out you were having one, I was like, I have to get on it. Because you made me feel more comfortable to be me. Like seeing another Southern spiritual, just talking how we talk, little, sometimes really fast, sometimes really slow, but always the truth with but wanting it to be in not a fear-mongering way. It does feel like the truth from my granny's kitchen when she was making me biscuits. You know what I mean? Like it
like
is like
kneading the dough.
it's
I
like,
feel
she's
that.
she's an asshole. She's not your friend, but it's stuff that you needed to hear. And I just want to thank you. Seeing you on TikTok, like I've always had a hard time with I'm just not like other astrologers, but you were one of the people that made me feel like I belonged in the room. So I'm very honored to be here.
You always belong in the room, babe. And you know, when I see you in Colorado, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot that you were an Oklahoma Sooner. I really did. Roll Tide, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. So what made you get into astrology in the first place? Because your story's got to be
Uh,
wild, especially with you going to Colorado. You do all kinds of wild things. I love you. You're like a tumbleweed.
I do. To be honest, it was like I had grown up around like folk man, like they would never call themselves witches. I don't know like what they would call themselves, but my grannies and my aunties were very into everything and very understanding, um not wanting me to limit my own beliefs. So zodiacs were always around. But it wasn't until I learned you had a whole chart, because I didn't resonate with Taurus. I wanted to be Taurus. I wanted to be like pretty. She's earth and grace. She's Venus on your face. I wanted to be all of that, but I did not feel that polish. I like just didn't resonate. And so understanding the whole chart, and then learning how, I have a very I've had a real rough go. I've had, I have PTSD. I being kind of witchy where I grew up wasn't always the easiest, being different in and of itself. And I'm a Leo moon, and I didn't understand that. Like I always understood Tauruses as stable, Mabel, these wonderful, patient beings. But the thing is, I didn't know I had a Leo moon like churning and going underneath all that, or Leo rising. And finally getting a reading where I like understood and this was young, but understanding that like, yes, I had two wolves inside of me. Yeah, I did kind of feel like they were fighting, but that's because I wasn't feeding them, But yeah, that was like at 14, and that like has changed I always felt really alone, really not of this world, really misunderstood until I found the stars. And then I was like, oh man. And I take them with me on like every part of my journey. Like even when I delved into Mormonism, I was still very, very astrological. And like I've never the stars have never left me, and I've never left them. They've come in all the faces and all the ways I've been here. The stars have been here. So
I love that. Your story's so much cooler than mine. Like,
what is your story? How'd you
my
get into
story
stars?
is one day I was on the Facebook. I was 27 years old and I had just been
Oh,
introduced to like tarot reading and shit through a couple of friends of
yeah,
mine. And I kept seeing astrology videos. And I had heard about astrology before, but I didn't know shit about it, right? And so I'm hearing these motherfuckers saying Venus ingressed in the Taurus. The fuck is that supposed to mean? And then I
right.
figured out ingress means move. And I was like, motherfucker, you couldn't have just said that shit? Like, do you have to say it with your nose 10 feet in the air? So that's why I learned
Yeah.
astrology. So I could understand the
Yeah.
shit and then tell other people. That's it.
Well, that's so eventually like that's kind of my story too, is like, and then I worked at this metaphysical shop like in my 20s, and there was like this old head astrologer lady, and we loved it when once a week Wednesdays her little, I think it was called like cosmic waves or something. I remember we all waited for it. And this is why I thought I couldn't be an astrologer, because she wrote poetry. Like she wrote, but also it was beautiful, but no one understood what the hell she was saying. Nobody. And so I started like translating it. I started saying, oh, well, actually, like Mars is moving into Leo, our fighting and fucking is going to get a little bit louder. And it
I love
started,
that.
I started to talk like that in hushed tones at the store. And then eventually, like my best friend who worked at the store was like, "You need to fucking start talking astrology. Like, it doesn't have to look like that. You don't have to be really pompous. You don't have to do that." But I was always like, "Oh, I'm just so stupid. It's the stars." But I mean, there was such a, as you know, such a need for this non-pompous
Right?
conversation.
Right?
Like,
Right? It's like, okay, so listen, I get it. We all gotta hustle. We all trying to get readings. We all trying to
right.
get paid.
But I still don't understand how you would hustle acting like you're like smarter and better than it. I still can't really understand that.
Dude, there are people on TikTok who do that shit all the fucking time, and I ain't gonna
I
mention no
know.
names because don't come for my lunch money. I'm not the one. Right? But
Right. But I never understood that. Oh, I'm not going to tell you everything. I'm going to kind of scare you. I'm going to kind of confuse you. And then I'm going to make you pay to come back to me like 3 months later. Nah, if you're sitting down with me, we are going to paint a picture. We're going on a journey together. I really very much believe like the stars saved me. me realizing like, oh, this isn't just like, I'm not just some angry person. I'm a Leo moon. That's part of my power. That's part of how I understand light. But for so long, I was like, oh, but understanding I was a part of the stars, that I'm a part of the universe. I I want people to know that because that changed me. For the longest time, I was like, oh, I'm the wrong side of the tracks girl. English as a second, like I'm just all this bad stuff. And I used to have all of that. And now it's like, no, I'm part of the fucking universe. We are made of stardust. And I don't understand how every astrologer does not want their client to feel that way or to understand it after talking about it, saying, oh, yeah, I'm not afraid. I am moving through this. I am part of the universe. We are made of stardust. I always rise up with the cycle. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand but
Money.
they're
Because
obviously
we give
getting
a
their
fuck
money from
about people.
somewhere.
Because we give a fuck about people and they give a fuck about money. Let's be real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I got some. Let's talk about some tea. Let's talk about some tea, shall we?
Which
Best and
ones?
worst transit you've ever experienced. I saw that face.
Well, because like this is what I love to talk about my astrology, but sometimes like I don't want to scare people and people will
I'll
hear certain things,
I'll
you
start
know.
Mars retrograde in Gemini 2023. And I'm a Mars in Gemini person. That was my best and my worst transit. First of all, I don't ever need Mars to stay in Gemini for 7 months. Ever the fuck again.
That was crazy.
That was crazy shit.
That was insane.
Like I sat there and I had to like that was when I found my voice and that was when I found like motherfucker I'm fitting to talk all my shit, right?
All of it.
Right? And so for me it was the worst transit because I had to cuss my husband out a lot. 'Cause he's a Gemini rising.
I was bad. Oh, my husband's a Gemini rising too. I find
So
that interesting.
that was wild time for you then too. You looked at that motherfucker like
It was rough. I told Sean to shut up a
right?
lot.
Yeah, I'll pray for Astro King, man, because he got read the rights for 7 goddamn months.
Well, Sean deserved it. So
So did fucking Chan, man. But yeah, no, like, listen, for me, when I'm not gonna sit here and say like I'm all about empowering people and I'm all about anti-fear, but motherfucker, some of these transits suck. like,
right.
um,
Right.
like
Well, so
Chiron and
my
Taurus, and I have strep throat right now.
yeah,
Fuck
yeah,
you. Like,
yeah. Some of them are just what they are. But when we say certain things, I've noticed people like hang on. Like my Saturn return was one of the worst things ever. I lost my partner,
oh
but
no.
so many people like that is not the normal story for everybody, and so many people are already so scared with Saturn returns. Um, it
All a
was
return is a progress
right,
report, babe.
right. But oh, my light went off. Oh, we're talking about real shit. My light went off.
Yeah, so while she gets her lights back on, let me explain a Saturn return for everybody. So when you have a planetary return period, whether that's Mercury, Venus, Mars, Saturn, I don't give a fuck, right? When you got a planetary return happening, that means you're getting a progress report of everything that's happened, of everything you've done, of everything you didn't do. And you're about to be shown that right the fuck here. So in this case, when Kyla experienced the Saturn return and she lost her partner, I guarantee you there were probably issues for about a year in advance that showed her that this shit was coming, and she collected red flags like red roses because that's what we do in our 20s. So
Well,
we give
so this
we give
is the
men folk too
interesting
many
part
damn
of my
chances. Hmm.
this is the interesting thing is I was like a baby astrologer. I predicted that I was going to die.
Oh damn.
I was like, I'm not going to live through this. I
Oh,
was
you
like,
mean lost your partner, like he
yeah,
Casper-fied. Oh, my
yeah, he
bad.
died.
My bad. I thought you meant left. Whoops. Well, kids, this is a live lesson to ask
No,
questions
you
before
weren't
you
wrong though.
assume.
Like you weren't wrong, but I wanted you to know that like I was taking the signs for me. Like I was like and that it was my first let's just laugh and live through this. Um, but no. So it was the worst, but it was also like it was my biggest misread. Like
Yeah.
it was my and it was a misread that was like you're so you can't take yourself out of center and you're never going to be able to read if you can't take yourself out of center and you can't even read for yourself if you can't take yourself out of center. So even even though that was so funny, but yeah, I lost my partner, but I read that I was going to expire, and I totally moved in that way, and then totally ignored maybe some signs, maybe some helpful signs for sure. But yeah, you ain't wrong.
God damn, that's gonna be great on YouTube. I love my
That's
podcast,
that's
man. You never
now
know what's what.
that's some great content.
Right? All
You're
right.
like, oh, he did.
Oh, he
Yes,
died.
he's gone.
All right. So, what's your biggest lesson from astrology?
Um, ask clarifying questions. No, just kidding. Um, I mean, my biggest lesson is also the greatest gift is that we are all a part of this. Like, like I think a lot of people learn a little bit of astrology and astronomy and start to what's it called? Like cosmic nihilism. Like they
Mm-hmm.
start being like, "Oh my gosh, I'm on a floating rock and like nothing matters." I
Mm-hmm.
was the opposite. I was like, "Oh shit, we're on floating rock, nothing matters." Like instead of that and so that keeps me in check every day. I'm an anxious person. I'm a worrier. But like the stars help me with that, like the cycles and the ups and downs, and just really like the big lesson for me was that I'm not alone.
You got mercurial placements, don't you?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Virgo sun, Virgo rising, Virgo Mercury retrograde, and a Gemini Mars. And you said I'm anxious, I'm a worrier. And I was like, I smell the neuroticism. You got Mercury, don't you?
I've got it really I've got a lot of neuroses for sure. I've got a lot of but the stars really help me with that. The stars are the ones where I'm like, hey, everyone's dealing with the nodes right now and Jupiter opposing Pluto. Fucking everybody. And it can even help like when I'm watching TV or so I'm like, see, everybody's going through it. Or you go on TikTok right now and you're like, everybody's
Yeah,
going
everybody,
through
they mom
it.
and they dog is losing their
Everybody.
damn mind.
And while that might stress other people out, that really makes me feel better. I'm like, we're not alone. We're not just, raw dogging it. Is that appropriate to say? Sorry.
I've been raw dogging the fuck out of my goddamn life. Listen, my moon, my natural placement is Moon in Aquarius opposed Jupiter in Leo. So I just had a Jupiter return and Pluto's on top of my moon. Y'all all can suck it.
Oh,
Y'all all can suck it right now. I'm
yeah.
raw dogging life and everything in between. And if that's not appropriate to say, well, fuck it, we're here.
And yeah,
And Uranus
that's
was trying
appropriate
my
for that
Mars.
transit for sure.
And Uranus is trying my Mars placement. Yeah, I don't give a damn
Uh,
no more.
Uranus is riding my Chiron and North Node.
Oh, you don't give a damn no more neither. You're like,
Yeah, that's what you
no.
guys are seeing. I'm like, hey,
I feel you. You're like, yep, we're both in
hey,
this boat of fuck it. It's just about to fly. Which
yeah.
leads us into eclipses, actually, because we're talking about this Piscean eclipse. And everybody, they mom and they dog freaks out about eclipses. Like, oh my God, don't cast, don't go
I
outside, don't
know. I'm not
move.
like that. Are
Yeah, I'm
you?
not either. It's
Me
like if you
neither.
feel like now I would look at the transits personally. Like the last
Right.
eclipse in Leo, perfect casting, especially for
Yeah, I did a
glamours and
lot of fucking magic.
yeah, glamours and money and all this other shit. But this one in Pisces, with that T square on the board, I do some cleansing spells, maybe
Yeah.
some
There's
cleansing
like
baths.
I'm feeling like some like cord cuttings, some
Mm-hmm.
clearings,
Yeah,
because it's the end.
yeah,
And this is like Piscean eclipse are always crazy but especially when it's North Node. So it is the end, but it's also the North Node. It's what the head is eating, what we're consuming. Like it's gonna be. It's. I
I'm
just.
so
I.
over
I hope I don't
Piscean
drown.
fishy
I hope this
shit.
kitty don't drown, girl. Like
I'm so over fishy fuck shit. I'm so over it. To
I
all the
am too.
fishy fucks out there watching, I love y'all. Y'all know I do. But I'm so
Absolutely.
tired of your sign as a collective. That and
Yeah.
Krabby Patties. I said what I said.
Yeah. The Piscean energy can fucking leave. Like I'm like I'm over it.
And
I'm
Virgo,
over
I
it.
love me. I love me. I love me. I'm so ready for Virgo to get the
I
fuck
love
on
me. I
somewhere.
love that. I'm ready for Virgo season. And I am interested. I'm interested in Virgo season without the North Node and Pisces. I'm ready for us to really start taking like like I'm ready for that Piscean eclipse with that T square to shit to come in. But
Right.
that sun still being in Virgo and still illuminating and still kind of like burning through without that North Node being there.
Yeah, that
I'm hoping
eclipse
we really get
involving,
some details and some truth and
yeah, that Uranus involvement in that T square has
yeah, I
me.
think people like again, not talking shit. Everyone has their own videos, but this like I know it's a Piscean eclipse, but also it's a Uranus T goddamn square.
Right.
Like,
I'm just sitting here looking at my calendar like, I bet I could make a big enough pillow for it. Like, I bet I could make a big enough one to hide under. And I normally don't hide for transits, but this one, I'm like, I'm so tired of Uranus,
I have to admit, this one I'm not like, yeah. I'm ready to take a nap, whether it's a dirt nap or just a
man.
fucking
Right?
long nap.
Right. I
But
feel
yeah.
you.
So
Night,
what
night.
so like when Uranus is like we experienced that Uranus kind of bending the nodes, what was that like the beginning of the summer, like June?
Yeah.
Oh, so we
Mm.
should look back at like what was going on, but like also
That new
I
that full moon in Scorpio in May.
oh my God, that one almost took me out.
It did for me too. Like I literally fell and busted my fucking knee. Like I'm
Yeah.
fixed signs in general in Uranus. Like, I was so mad. I was like, what the fuck did I do to y'all? I just
I
wanted to
know,
get
but
out of the
Uranus and the
bathtub.
mutables go so goddamn fast.
It does.
It's hard to fucking figure out what's been done and what hasn't been. Like, what?
It's absolute craziness. But I'm not gonna lie. Okay, September 27th.
Oh
Like
no.
talking about eclipses, right? But
Yeah,
we're gonna come back to that. September 27th is when Mars moves into Leo. It
yeah,
takes it takes Mars 1 day to move half a degree, which means it'll take 20 days for that motherfucker to reach a certain orange-headed motherfucker in a house of whites Pluto. And that's
yeah,
all I'm saying. Fingers crossed.
yeah,
And now
yeah.
leading with this Piscean eclipse going back into it, right? If we looked at the Saturn transits, right? If we're looking at the global side of things, because this is what I'm really excited for, when Saturn moved into Pisces and then Saturn moved into Aries back in the 90s, right? 94. You have
Yeah.
to remember that was the first time that the world court brought up genocide
Yes.
charges, brought
Yes.
up and brought up like human rights violations and all of
Yep.
that shit. So now we're seeing this again and we're with the warrant for Bibi and Donald Trump cozying up with Kim Jong Un
Yeah.
and the sailors over there in the Lincoln. What do you like politically speaking? What do you see as happening, especially with the node shifts and this like Pisces going out the door?
I mean, first the big thing is the the nodes shifting are going to help us with that losing of our head to delusion. Like people are starting to see what's real. Even if it's a little sloppy right now, you can start to see people start to kind of decide and cipher and starting to like figure that out. Um, I'm Mars and Leo and that Venus and Scorpio retrograde really have me interested.
Me too.
Because when I was doing a lot of research on all the different people on this world stage, first of all, Israel itself has Mars and Leo. Almost everybody, Putin, Trump,
Yep.
all of them, the Italian lady, the German lady, I mean, all over the place. They all have Mars and Leo themselves.
That's going to be
So
interesting. I've noticed that too.
I'm really interested in this because the South Node is there. So we're rectifying this light, like figuring this out. I think a lot of like, I think this Piscean eclipse is kind of the first one, but it's bringing all this stuff out of the ocean. I think we're going to start holding shit accountable. We're going to start rectifying that light, that Virgo, like we're going to be able to finally define without all that Piscean confusion. I think things are going to flip. I
2027
think
is
they're going to be like we can't ignore.
we
But I
can't
also
ignore
do
it.
think that they're gonna, when people are drowning, they try to bring you down with them. Like
I agree
it's gonna be a
wholeheartedly.
rough time.
I agree with it wholeheartedly, and 2027 is fitting to be wild. And a lot of people don't realize this, but we have three, you can have anywhere from 3 to 8 eclipses a year, roughly
Yeah,
speaking, right?
yeah, yeah. What's all the misinformation about eclipses on TikTok? Toe. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, there's two in a month. This is a bad omen." They come in pairs, you guys.
Right? They really do. They
They
come in
really
pairs, and there could
do.
be 8 of them. Next year, there are 5. Um,
Yeah,
and
next year's gonna be weird. What is one word you would put to 2027?
fuck. I mean, literally,
You're not
no. We
wrong.
start off the year on January 10th with the Mars retrograde in Libra moving into fucking
I
Virgo,
know. I know. The last
right?
time we
And then
started a
after
year
that,
with the Mars
Chiron moves back
retrograde,
into
I did not
Taurus.
like it. I do not like that kind of energy.
I don't. And Chiron moves into Taurus right
Yeah.
after, right?
Yeah.
So,
No.
yeah,
Isn't it
like
weird how obvious astrology gets in 2027? Like if you know certain things, it's almost painful to look at, right?
it
You're
really
like,
is. Like I'm looking at the transits next year, especially the retrogrades, because the retrogrades start in water signs but move into air signs all
yeah,
next year. So it's just like I'm looking at it like that's the year of reckoning. Like this
yeah,
is 2026. It's a perfection year. It's a 1 year, right? So like
yeah.
this is get your shit together now.
We're still making the movements, even though we don't know exactly where we're going. We're moving for sure.
Mm-hmm. And
But
if
yeah,
you whatever you do have control over, because Saturn retrograde, right, in Aries, the sign of self, that's building the structures that you can control within the structures that you can't, right? Because
yeah,
that's Saturn-esque. So you
yeah,
can't see all the cogs moving, but you can control some shit. Get your shit together, people, because you're fitting to go by the seat of your pants in
yeah.
2027, bruh.
What you can control is you like, do you remember I don't like when I was like when I thought I was going to be a teacher, I remember we like taught the kids like what can you control and like we like taught them like their breath and like what they can see and like I feel like everyone's going to have to learn that because we've been in this TikTok look at this it feels like we're so interactive like we do have a lot of power and I'm not saying that we don't, but we're going to figure out that the true power doesn't fucking matter if we don't have it like within ourselves, if we don't know who we are and finding authority in that, nothing else will fucking matter. But yeah, the astrology is so literal for 2027, it scares me.
It really does. And it scares me not in the way like I know I'll be fine, right? And I know you'll be
Right.
fine. And I know that anybody who can look at next year is going to be all right. But my thing is for the person who questions their inner knowing
Oh, yeah.
and the person who questions, like, does that constant, like, should I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? You're fucked.
Yeah.
You're fucked. Like, you're
Absolutely.
absolutely fucked. I would work on
Absolutely.
that now. Because
Yeah,
otherwise you're gonna have a very
if at
neurotic
this
next year.
point you're confused, you have some makeup work to do. But
Right.
you are about to get like you are absolutely right. If you don't know which way to go, you're about to get pushed.
Yeah. And you're not gonna like it. And is it gonna be the best goddamn thing for you? Yes, absolutely it will be. It will be the best thing for you. However, in the interim process of that, take it from somebody who's been shoved by Mars, you're not gonna like it. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, but here's the thing that's really cool about 2027 though. 2028,
Yeah.
2028 astrology is nice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I wouldn't say 2027 is bad. It's just weird how literal it is. Chiron and Taurus, the retro, like it's so like Mars and Libra, like it's very like, oh, this is what we're dealing with.
Right?
Like
It's everything that you've worked for, like all the shit that's happened, right? And geopolitically, this is gonna be a wild year because
it's gonna
all the
be
things that have been done in
absolutely
the
fucking
background,
insane.
all the things that you have done as a person, they're going to be shown right in front of your face. You're going to be able to see everything you've built and what that looks like. Now, is it going to show up exactly the way you thought of it? No, because the stars never work that way, and Uranus is in Gemini, baby. Good luck. But however, you're going to see the byproduct and the products of what you have created in your life. And I'm super excited for a lot of motherfucking people. I'm not going to lie to you, but there are other people I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
that's going to be a bumpy ride, but you got this, babe.
yeah, yeah. And that's gonna be another really interesting thing too, because I get this question a lot, and I wonder if you get it too. Like collectively, it is a rough fucking bitch out there. But if we're looking individually, this is, especially if you're magical, like it is a ripe time
Oh, it's
to make some
absolutely
changes,
amazing.
to do what you want, to have this fruition. Like, it's that personal versus, and I always get that question of how, but it's way more common than not. Like, it is way more common for the world to kind of be in this darkness and in this shit, and for it to be like, oh, well, personally, this is a wonderful time for you to make those movements, for you to know who you are, for you to feel this and feel that. And
I agree.
2027 and 2028 are so loud in those themes for me, where it's like, hey, the world might be on fucking fire, but know what you can control, know what you have control of, know what you've done, know the intention and the stuff that you put out, and understand that it'll come back, and just keep moving. Keep fucking moving, Dories. Like, just keep moving for yourself, even if because this does have to burn and die. It does.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
And I agree with you
it can
wholeheartedly.
be the manure we use to put on our berries, but like that is going to get louder, and you have to still say, but that's not me. This is my trajectory. These are my stars. This is my, like, because it's still a very empowering time. And that's what, I think that's what scares me the most, is so many people who are like, well, I can't do anything. The world's on fire. And it's like, no, the world's on fucking fire. Fucking do whatever you want. The
Right?
world's on fire. Like, start new
It,
rules, start a cult, do whatever, start anything. Don't just sit there
listen,
and get burned.
if anybody's starting a taco cult and y'all have like Taco Tuesdays, I'm down. Just to throw that out there. Like, okay. So like, I feel you.
I smell
And
what
I
you're stepping
absolutely
in. I'm there
agree.
too.
I absolutely fucking agree. This is a fantastic, like, I've grown more in these last few months. And
Oh,
I've
me too. And I'm almost embarrassed to talk about it, because I don't want people to think, just because I'm talking about how good and what I'm feeling and how I'm moving doesn't mean I think the world is good. But like people, there is that disconnect. But I do want to talk more about how
okay,
it's such a great personal time.
let me help you out there for a second. If you're watching this and you're looking at the world from a very Pluto in Aquarius-esque
Yeah.
thing of, yes, people are dying, we know people are starving, but motherfucker, I'm coming from a Jupiter and Leo. Unlodge the stick of unhappy out of your ass real quick. Okay? Because we're going to talk about some joy and some whimsy, and you motherfuckers
Yeah.
need that in your life. So if you don't like that, bye.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah, I'm
Deuces.
totally for, like, because I think to truly heal, we can't spiritually bypass, and like we got to be honest about stuff, but also like just handing the shovel over and saying, hey, bury me, there's nothing I can do. Like, there's, like, whimsy is revolutionary,
I agree.
joy is revolutionary, and I want that to be everyone's individual. Like, if you can't work on anything else right now, we are on a floating fucking rock. Give yourself some joy, like, don't do this, because we're going to see a lot of that too. People just being like, well, why are you doing that? Everyone is dying. Everyone is dying. What can you do right now? Because that joy, that laughter helps the ethosphere.
Listen,
What am I
I'm gonna
even
need
saying?
y'all to smoke some herb and chill the fuck out, okay? Because I'm gonna be
Chiron and
for real. This
Taurus.
This shit is cyclic. This shit is
Yeah.
cyclic. And yes, the world is on fire. Yes, we have a fascist government. Yes, Donald Trump is a fucking fascist, toupee, hyper capitalistic, ugly, leather-faced motherfucker. Right? However, like, and I will talk all my shit because fuck you, I'm a vet, and if you don't like it, suck my dick. So, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I get it that we've got ICE, we've got, Mark Wayne Mullins, whatever the fuck. We've got couch fucker JD Vance. We've got
Yeah.
all these other motherfuckers making like all these waves and shit, but at the end of the day, it's cyclic.
Yeah.
2028, 2032, 2036. Get out there and do what you can, but have some fucking fun and some whimsy in your life. And if you can't do that, smoke some herb. It'll help.
And at least don't take from like I get it. Like I don't want anyone to not understand the seriousness, but like it's a lot of us are Pluto and Scorpio generation. We are going to get through this by fucking laughing, by the dark humor, by like, finding our like don't let fucking the orange dump take your little bit of joy. Like that it starts with you.
I
Um
agree wholeheartedly.
and
And let's talk about that Piscean eclipse some because the ebb and the flow
yeah,
of everything love, sex, drugs, alcohol, everything Kurt Cobain, baby, right? It's
yeah,
fucking Pisces and ebbs and flows and shit. Listen, there's never going to be a time when Scorpio risings don't get hit, just like Taurus risings are going to have to suck it too, along with the other 10 signs in the zodiac that are
yeah.
constantly like in this phase of ebb and flow. And Pisces is going to show you that. Because if you think
Yeah,
about it, if we think about the water signs like the ocean, you've got Scorpio, where that's where the anglerfish with like the light bulb and the fucked up
yeah,
teeth live. And then you've got Cancer, which Cancer is the ocean where the light touches, but that shit'll still crush you. And then you've got
yeah,
Pisces, the tide, that meets Virgo, the
yeah,
sand. And it's putting all this dirt, but all these beautiful shells and all this other stuff. You got to look at your life in the good, the bad, or the ugly. And Pisces is fitting to show you that with this eclipse, especially with Uranus in that T square.
yes, for
You,
fucking sure. And like the thing I always like to talk about with Pisces that is such a good visual for me, is another bad thing about Pisces, or bad for some people, is Pisces can show you all the possibilities.
yup, absolutely. Like
And
Pisces is
unfortunately,
the imagining.
I think that's going to help a lot of us, but it's going to hurt a lot of us too. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to be shown a lot, like there is that fear of can we like stay here and eat and be safe, but like also there's all these possibilities, but also that's scary in and of itself. Like what do you mean we have all these possibilities?
It's
It's a lot
embracing the
easier to think,
unknown.
no, this is what our life is and this is what we've ordered and this is what we're stuck with every day. You have to really work that brain to say, no, this is all possible.
It's
And that's
embracing the
also fucking
unknown.
scary. It's that fear of like, you're in the swimming pool, but you still think the shark's in the ocean just because in the water it's possible. There's a lot of that being really loud for me with that Uranus T square. We're going to be shown what's possible, but what story are they going to choose? I remember that's what I was saying really loudly with that first Uranus bending the nodes. What story are we choosing? And I think it's going to be obvious what story a lot of people chose if they got to choose it, if they chose you. um I think just everything is going to show itself.
I'm
Like,
excited for it too, because like in the beginning, when the nodes were moving
yeah,
from like, oh God, when the nodes were moving into Virgo and into Pisces way back when, right? I was like,
yeah,
it's the imagination and the ethereal versus the ground and reality, right? It's the
yeah,
little kid dreaming the dream and then being an adult and bringing that dream to life.
yeah,
And this is the energy that we're also experiencing as this door shuts. What have you brought to life?
Yeah,
what
because the
possibilities are
thing
there.
is they've had us crazy with that North Node in Pisces, all these delusions, all this stuff and stuff you can't separate yourself from. Oh, they've just fed us because they don't want us to see the possibilities. CERN has, I think, showed a lot of different possibilities, you
I've
know.
heard a lot about CERN, and when first people started talking about like, what do you know about CERN? What do you know about CERN? What do you know about CERN? Ain't that the thing that went off in COVID? Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And then
yeah.
it just shut off again, and I was like,
Tracing the patterns of CERN are fucking weird. It
right,
will
it
blow your
is
mind.
weird and it is wild. And my first thought, and it was the most southern thing ever, I was like, who shut off CERN's light bill? Because that's not very nice. Like, who didn't pay the
Well,
light
I didn't get it when
bill?
they're like, everyone's like, Kyla, they're shutting off CERN. And I was like, who? Like, you know, and then it's like, oh, they do this. And then it's like, what is, and then it's like this huge rabbit hole where it's like, oh, shit. But one of the conspiracy theories is like, they have seen how magical the world can be or how we're actually going. And that's why they had to pull fascism in. Um, and with all of that in Pisces, hearing that, I was like,
That makes sense.
oh.
It makes too
And
much sense.
it
Like,
makes too much
it's like,
sense. It's one of those for sure.
right.
But
And
yeah,
I'm just sitting
but
here like, man, y'all saw some joy and some whimsy and you decided not to pay your light bill on your little telescope thingy. Well, that sucks. You guys are assholes.
that
Like,
really sucks. Um, but one thing I've noticed with all the like the online discourse with TikTok that's like that's been hard for me is if we are going to a Piscean eclipse, that means the dragon is trying to pull us all at least back to source for a bit. We're all supposed to like go through like almost like a baptism. We're all supposed to like kind of dip through the ocean. Did we do this? What did we do? All of those things. And I feel like on TikTok, I've seen people literally like put their feet up, not want to go through the door and be like, no, I'm this, label me this and do this and label me this and do this and do and I'm like, guys, this is the time where we all have to kind of come back together. I'm not saying that like naming things aren't important. I definitely think they are. But I want you to look at what's going on at the universe. And there is a pull towards this Piscean eclipse. And you're hanging back here going, you're not taking me down. And I think we all need to look at that, look at who's doing it and why. Because Pisces is the end. It is that karmic ocean debt. It is all the things. And I think a lot of people are feeling it. And I think a lot of people are afraid to, people want to stop time. They don't want to experience lunations. And the thing is we're all on here. We can't stop it. But you can see people kind of try to. That's what I want to ask people. Look at who is refusing to like come back to source. Look at who is saying absolutely not fucking me.
right, I
I
feel that. And I want to call people, especially from the TikTok sphere, right? Pay attention to the people who focus on the past a lot and who focus on like $5 right now says that there's going to be somebody who pulls a clip from last year and goes, look at what this
yeah,
person did, right? Because
yeah,
that's also Pisces too, is Pisces back to the future type shit with,
yeah.
the Honda cars and shit. So it's people who cling to their past so they can cling to who they are because they don't want to grow, they don't want to expand.
They
And
don't want to swim in that ocean.
yeah,
Like it looks so literal if you understand what's going on. You're like, God, you won't even get in the water, bitch.
like, and I feel you, and it's the people who aren't willing to let themselves expand to be something else. Like, this podcast
Yeah,
is scary for me, right? I'm sick as fuck and I'm sitting here like doing it, but I'm like, is it gonna work? Is it not gonna work? Like, and
yeah,
talking politics this bluntly, I don't
yeah.
do that shit on TikTok. I
You
keep it
don't.
strictly, yeah,
I'm
like,
proud of you.
right? But it's scary. But here I
It
am
is.
fucking talking about Cheeto dumpy dump looking like you got a whole ass dirty ass diaper. Caroline Levitt did him so dirty. Caroline Levitt did him so dirty. And I'm here
Yeah,
for it. Get him, Caroline. Right? Even though you're a
yeah,
bitch too.
yeah. But I mean, we gotta get them where we can fit them, you know. So what, but yeah, I see a lot of people like it's going to be a really interesting time. And also, I think after this eclipse, like spiritualists on TikTok, I need everyone to look at who you follow. I think there's going to be, you know, that's why I was like there with the nodes in Leo and Aquarius, it's going to be this really hard thing of when are we the collective? When are we the humanity? When are we thinking big picture versus when are we the individual? When do I need to talk to my ego, about me and this individual story? Um, and I obviously the nodes, this is why a certain astrology teaches it incorrectly, but it has to be balanced. You have to have a mouth and an asshole. There has to be balance. And so I immediately checked with Alex Reed's tarot, a bigger picture, because I experienced this. I'm a little bit older. I had a shop in 2016. I saw how they infiltrated my readers. I saw it. So I'm not saying, oh, I just know. I know firsthand. And that's why I saw how it came in. I recognized the wording. I recognized every goddamn thing. And that's why I was like, oh, it's time. Because I remember last time it scared the shit out of me too. I was like, what are they doing in our realm? What are these conservative people doing with witches? What are they doing talking to us? Why are they over here? And I saw that slow influx of influence and me um not having the safety net of witches that I thought, because all of a sudden they were believing this pipeline stuff and, saying like, asking if what someone has in their pants before they can come to this practice and stuff. And I was like, what is going on? So I've seen this and I knew and also I forgot what the transit was, but I had just said there's a window, we're going to peak, we're going to get a thing
Mm-hmm.
of what's coming. And then that happened. So that's like, when things are big to me, I have to be big.
It was
And that was
Mercury. It was
big
Mercury
to me.
retrograde in Cancer trine. I think it was Saturn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a Mercury retrograde trine for sure. And but yeah, and ever since then, oh my gosh,
Every
every
time you
time I
talk
talk
about
about,
Saturn, your lights go out.
isn't that interesting? Because he knows I'm like reading about him and trying to figure out his relationship with the light. Um, but anyway, but ever since that Alex Reed's tarot, my whole FY, like everything's been different. Now I constantly get um which to worship. Like I have all these accounts that are coming that are changing. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. And so I'm really interested because what we had said for a long time was, oh my gosh, with the North Node in Pisces, spiritualists, it's going to be even a little bit more confusing. So many more people are going to put their hat into the ring. What is it going to be now with that switch? Like,
I
are
really
people going to be able to fake it? Is it going to be different? Is it like, what is it going to be?
I definitely think people aren't going to be able to fake it. I definitely think they're going to have to change their tactics a little bit because a lot of people
Yeah,
are fitting to see like social media has changed the game so
so
much of how
much.
they've operate. And for me at first, because I'm a vet, right? So I was like, all
Yeah,
right, if heifers want to go back to church, I don't know why you want to do that stand up, sit down shit. But okay, right? Like, you know what
yeah,
I mean? All I could think about was the Baptist church. And I was just like, that's traumatizing, but all right. Like, and so yeah, but then there was talks of money being involved and people getting
yeah.
paid and pipelines, and I'm just like, what in the fishy fuck? Because that's
Right.
spicy and shit. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I think with Aquarius, because Aquarius is the water bearer now. Aquarius is the
Yeah.
cup bearer. Like for those of
But
you who don't know, he's
but
based
he's the
off
cup.
yeah, he's based off of the cupbearer that Zeus hired because Zeus was like, "You're pretty cool. Like, hold my water cup, homie." Um,
Well, Zeus was a little bit dirtier than that, but
well,
yes.
we're just giving a snippet here, okay? We're
But
not gonna
isn't it
talk too
interesting that like we've been drunk and lost in the water and now the cupbearer
Yeah.
is where like the head of the dragon is, and also where fucking god of the underworld is.
Yeah.
That's not small
Hades is having
potatoes.
some fun right now. Hades is having some fun right
Hades
now.
is having the
He's
time of
like,
his
all
life.
y'all fitting to eat it.
Yeah, because I mean he's out of bounds now, right? Pluto's out of bounds, I
Mm-hmm.
think. Yeah,
Pluto is out of bounds. He's been out of bounds for like the last month-ish, I think.
yeah.
I
I
think.
remember it happened before this eclipse. I was like, that Leo eclipse with Pluto fucking out of bounds. Good
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Like Pluto's just doing whatever. And I really, really think that Hades is
And we need
literally
him
getting
to.
coin from everybody. Hades is getting his coin.
Right? Listen, what's going on with money is
Wild.
crazy and wild. When do you think that's going? So this is my thing. Is it used to be a lot easier to predict things because they didn't know how to manipulate the light so much, but now they do. Um, I think that I think now they are able to kind of act like there's not a crash or something for a lot longer because of that Saturn and Neptune over there in Aries.
Mm-hmm.
We can confuse a little bit. So I think it's a little bit harder to kind of say, oh, housing market's going to crash, or, but like, also, I feel like that's going to happen, but are we going to see it? Like, because I'm with you. Pluto's coming for his money. There's a
Yeah.
whole bunch of money. There's a whole bunch of Peter Robin to pay Paul and blah, 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 blah. But also,
If you look real close at them transits when Scorpio, like when Venus goes retrograde and when
yeah,
Mercury goes retrograde,
yeah,
pay attention what Pluto's doing. Because
yeah,
we're gonna see
right.
a lot of
I'm
motherfuckers go
excited.
broke.
Yeah, yeah.
That shit's gonna be
That's
wild.
what I'm hoping that it is. That, because again, this is when astrology gets really cool. Yeah, we can talk about like the bigger society and galactic planets. That's what we're looking for big changes and stuff. But when we want things to be revealed, when we're like really like things that are like happening, it's personal planets,
Mm-hmm.
like almost all the time. And like that's why that Venus and Mars and Mercury all doing that around that time. It's just really going to be
Well, and you
interesting.
also have to think about it, right? Scorpio, it's the underworld itself. It's Tartarus.
Yeah,
Aphrodite's going to visit the home of Hades. And,
yeah,
we got to think about it. If Taurus is Persephone, Virgo is Demeter,
yeah,
Scorpio is Hades, and currently Hades is in the realm of the mortals, aka, or Olympus, aka,
yeah,
the gods, then Aphrodite's just being left to play in Tartarus by herself.
yeah,
What is she gonna do while she's there? Take that bitch over, of course, duh. Because that's what
yeah,
Aphrodite do. So, and this is how my mind reads it, right? So I don't think the housing crash is going to happen, and I'm putting my Astro name on the line here. But I definitely think if there's going to be a housing crash anytime, it's going to be like between January and February of 2027, if not March, with
yeah.
that Mars retrograde
Yeah,
happening
and
between
also I
Libra.
don't know if I'm like using the correct. I don't know if I'd say like I do think the markets are being played,
Mm-hmm.
and like Chiron and Taurus obviously is the big one for me. There's something going on, and so I don't know if it's that housing market, and so I'm with you on that. But I also think that they like the stock market is represented by Neptune in astrology.
Is
You
it?
know,
That I didn't know. I learned something new today.
but I mean, doesn't that make sense though? It's like not real, but it's
Mm-hmm.
real.
I absolutely
And
agree. It checks.
Neptune and Aries with all of this going on, like I'm like what the hell? Like
I definitely don't see like a full crash of the
right,
economy. I definitely see the housing market bubble popping because I mean, I don't even need astrology to see that. I own my home
right.
and my home is like like my home when I bought my house it was 109,000 like $100,000 roughly,
Yeah.
right? 109 after taxes whatever. It's now like 100 and worth 170,000.
Yeah.
where I
The
live.
housing stuff is crazy. I'm just
It's
wondering how that's going to look and how that's going to burst because I think it's going to be a little bit different. But no, I'm with you. I like the whole thing isn't going to get thrown out.
no.
People ask me that a lot about America and the stocks and like I don't see all of it getting thrown out. I don't see all of it crashing and all of this, but I do see some big dips and some big changes and some big reconfiguration. It is definitely not going to look as it has, and that part is dead or whatever you feel comfortable saying, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely dead. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, this summer, Chiron and Taurus has done his big one. We had exploding ass virus. The eggs
I
got
know.
salmonella. The beef's
I know.
fucked up. Like, what can we eat
We haven't even
anymore?
like I just saw like four more recalls before I hopped on with you. It
Right?
was
What
like
can we eat
popsicles,
anymore?
nothing.
Chiron just said, fuck y'all. Y'all ain't getting food. Like, fuck all you heathen asses. Eat
Tyron was like,
air,
hear me
bitches.
fucking cry. How much more like to me, Chiron and Taurus is going to be a child with a tantrum because it hasn't been heard. The earth has been crying and screaming for a bit. We've been wanting to know our worth and our value, and always wanted to be secure. And I have a feeling that this time she's going to be like, fucking what? Like, I'm just going to scream. I'm
I
just going to
feel that.
scream.
I feel that to my soul. You know, we've been talking for an hour, right?
Yeah. And I could still talk to you for like 3 more hours.
I feel that. Like we could just sit here and talk forever. I definitely,
We need to do a part two soon. Maybe do a part
you
two
know what? We're
after the
definitely doing a
eclipse.
part two. So this
Yeah.
is just part one, right?
But
Y'all
this was
stay tuned.
amazing. This was so much fun. I could talk shit with you anytime.
You know
Southern
what?
spiritual star tea.
Right? You want to do it? Want to do it like next week sometime and do part two?
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Down with that? What up? All right. So, welcome to Stars, Cards, and Sass. This is part one. We're not even over, so I'm not even gonna like give my normal spiel. Go look in the link in this bio and all the
Yeah.
descriptions to get Kyla's information. But yeah, y'all stay tuned for part two because this conversation ain't over and I don't want it to be. But we'll come back after the eclipse and we'll talk more shit. Bye.